You might have noticed them already. A new cookery duo are set to get us inspired in the kitchen. Joe Swash is using the culinary skills that took him to runner-up position in Celebrity MasterChef. You did. I was just going to say you were excellent.
Thank you.
And joining him, of course, social media superstar, the Batch Lady, to help families struggling with meal times. Joe Swash and, of course, Suzanne Mulholland. Welcome.
Nice having you on.
Yeah. This is such an interesting concept. And we've been talking about batch cooking for some time now, Suzanne, haven't we? And we're all much more aware of it. But you're trying to make this very accessible to all families. And there's a lot of families out there struggling every day going, what am I going to do today?
Yeah.
What are they going to eat today? And you're physically going into their houses and trying to change their lives, both of you.
No, you started off, didn't you, really?
Yeah, so I just felt like I had been a time management expert and then I had kids, like we all do, and then cooking dinner night after night after night, having to come up with variety and make sure everybody was eating good. And I just thought, this cannot be my life. And then I looked at batch cooking because you could freeze it and make it in advance, but it was quite old-fashioned and I wanted to just bring it back, you know, and make it meals that we love eating and that are easy, make under 5 minutes, so that you could just get them done quickly and then in your freezer or your fridge for the week ahead. And I've done 6 books now, and now we're doing this amazing TV show, which is very exciting.
So, Joe, you're actually going out, aren't you? You're kind of going shopping with a lot of the families.
Yeah, so we go into these families for different reasons, whether it's financial reasons or health reasons or just time restrictions. Meal times have just fallen apart. So we go in there, Suzanne, we put cameras in the house, so we sort of watch what they do over a period of time, and then we show them the habits in the kitchen and over through the dinner times. And then we show them the batch cooking, the beauty of batch cooking. I'll take them shopping, give them a few tips and we'll do some cooking together. But ultimately, it's about saving time, saving money and having a healthy diet. So there was one family we went to see afterwards that were keeping up with the batch cooking, and we worked out that if they kept up with it for a year, they were going to save £10,000. Wow. Just through batch cooking. Wow. And they used to go to the shops like 50 times a month, which is a huge amount.
Wow.
Yeah.
So over a year, they were going to save 3 weeks of time and the diet was already healthier. So they basically got themselves a holiday out of it. But that's just some of the perks of batch cooking. But I love it. I've taken it home for my family.
And when you say batch cooking, are you meaning that you're making enough for another meal for another time?
Well,
Is that...
Yeah, it sort of depends. So, old-fashioned batch cooking you would think of as a big pot that you've just made spaghetti bolognese and you've portioned it out. Of course, we still do that. But most of it is just you're making a few batches, so a few meals for the freezer for the week ahead. They can be a variety of different things, but you've done them in advance.
Right.
But we usually say, if you want to get started, one night a week, make one and then double it up. It takes about 3 minutes to double a recipe because you've already been to the shops, got the ingredients, thought about it, laid it out. You may as well just double it. One for tonight, one for the freezer. Next week when you're busy, whatever you've got on, you can just grab something out and you're good to go.
So what if you've got a fussy eater?
Well, we'll see.
We had some of
Because I know
them.
you do the cooking, don't you, for your family?
Well, Stacey's an amazing cook, but I get more joy out of it. I really enjoy cooking.
Yeah.
But, we've got a big family and all of our kids are at different ages and they like different things. So with the batch cooking, we get the kids involved. So my little Rex has got really good knife skills, so he knows how to chop and stuff. And we'll say to the kids, like, everyone pick a meal at the beginning of the week. So we might have Fajita Friday for Rex or something like that. And then they'll help prepare it and then they take ownership over the food. And generally, they're eating healthier now because of the batch cooking and I can hide so much goodness in their food now.
What did you see was one of the biggest distraction when it came to getting the family around the table together?
Well, you know, Suzanne.
Yeah, they were. I would say that. I mean, it's just life, isn't it? So much takes over, and you come flying in from work, and if you've got, I've got teenagers, you know, and they all go off in different directions, and if people weren't eating one cohesive meal, they all tended to eat whenever they wanted. That's what we found with a lot of the families, and their kids were eating in their rooms, and parents were eating at different times. So one thing that we found was bringing them together and getting fussy eaters to choose what they wanted to eat and being having a go at doing it. So it was their night and everybody got to experience their night. So that worked really well. And then we found that actually them sitting around the table meant they actually spent more time together cohesively as a family throughout other times as well. So it was really nice at the end to see it coming together.
Part of it as well is that, let's say, you actually go out on the road with some of the families and you do a bit of shopping, but you stay in the kitchen and help plan the kitchen. And I think that's actually really important, because if you start when everything's in its right place and you've got what you need, for your own mind, it's a good way to start any kind of meal
because
prep.
some of the kitchens, and I mean, lots of us have this, what happens in my kitchen as well is everybody likes to dump stuff in it. Anything. They're just passing it. It goes in the kitchen because it's not one person's domain, so it's everybody's. They will just dump it. I always think one person in the household should just say, OK, it's my domain, pick your stuff up and get it out. We have a big...
I'm kind of thinking that Jo might be that dumper in the kitchen.
Well, I've been known to have a few dumps in the kitchen. No, I like to think I'm creative, and with creativity comes mess.
That's true. You're that person, make a beautiful meal and then it's like destruction. Well, actually, we'll be able to see for ourselves. You've let the cameras into your house. Pickle Cottage is now going to be on the telly. Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah, we're super excited, so hopefully everyone enjoys it. But I'm just really lucky because I get to do a lot of these programmes that involve my kids, you know what I mean? Like the one we're doing with Stacey. This one, the batch cooking, it really involves the family and cooking together. And like Suzanne said, it's so important that just once a day you sit down and you communicate with your family. Like, for us, with the kids, you ask them what they've done at school and you get a grunt if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's it.
But if you get them all sat around the table, eating and talking, they let their guard down and you get a lot more out of them. So I think the kitchen, cooking is just a vital part of the family.
Absolutely. Well, it's called Batch from Scratch, Cooking for Less. It starts on Monday the 17th of February on Channel 4. Thank you so much.
Oh.